Good afternoon, everyone. Today is October 17th, 2018. My name is Easton Jay.
And I'm Jessica Barrow.
The 2018 National FFA Convention, heavy rainfall, and Dairy Pride Act are the latest agriculture updates. Welcome to Autry Ag Report.
In local news, next week, approximately 50 Tarleton students will head to Indianapolis, Indiana for the 2018 National FFA Convention. Students will be helping with contests and promoting Tarleton. While attending, 30 Tarleton students will be receiving their American degree, which is the highest degree any FFA member can obtain. Less than half of 1% of FFA members will ever receive an American degree. Best of luck to our students.
In other local news, a TriCounty Gathering is being held on October 23rd from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Dublin Cell Barn. Associate Department Head for Extension Animal Science in College Station, Ron Gill, will be speaking along with Jason Clear, Associate Professor and Extension Beef Cattle Specialist in College Station. The topics that will be discussed are chute side manners and what are sale buyers and feedlots looking for. Lunch will be provided. If you are interested, you have to RSVP by October 19th.
In state news, according to Texas A&M AgriLife research scientist in Amarillo, fumicin does not adversely affect feedlot cattle performance. Dr. Jenny Jennings said that the lack of research on the issue has caused the FDA to settle on a conservative limit of 60 parts per million. Jennings said the results of our study support the theory that reduced susceptibility of beef cattle to the effects of fumicin and suggests that the reduced susceptibility may hold true for cattle fed heavier final weights and for longer feeding periods, such as commercial feedlot settings.
We now turn to Mark Nimick for his report on the rain we have received this month and its impacts in some parts of the state.
Since the 1st of October here, we have recorded roughly 10 inches of rain here in Stephenville. With a drastic drop in temperatures from the past few days, our outside animals need to be maintained carefully. Young and sick animals need to be kept off of wet ground and out of the harsh weather. The amount of rainfall across the state of Texas has been replenishing to most of our water resources, but disastrous in some parts of the state.
According to KXAN.com, since early Tuesday morning, Llano, Texas has received 3.5 inches, with some surrounding areas up to 5 inches. This tallying up to 9 to 10 inches over the past week, causing catastrophic flooding and damage from the Llano River.
Forecasts call for more rain over the week, so please be aware to all weather conditions.
In national news, organizations representing livestock, bee, and fish haulers submitted a petition to the Department of Transportation requesting additional flexibility on hours of service requirements. The petition asks for a 5-year exemption from certain HOS requirements for livestock haulers and encourages DOT to work with the livestock industry to implement additional fatigue management practices. Currently, the limit drive time is 11 hours and limit on duty hours is 14.
Instead, the organizations request that livestock haulers be granted approval to drive up to 15 hours with a 16-hour on-duty period, following a 10-hour consecutive rest period. Any livestock hauler wishing to operate under the extended drive time would be required to complete pre-trip planning and increased fatigue management training. The petition was signed by the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, Livestock Marketing Association, and many more. Now for a current ag issue, we turn to Shelby Clayton.
Thanks, Easton. Today I'm covering the Dairy Pride Act. The name is a little misleading, but the act is actually a bill that was introduced in January 2017. Dairy Pride is an acronym for Defending Against Imitations and Replacements of Yogurt, Milk, and Cheese to promote regular intake of dairy every day. It's a pretty long name. But the bill is self-explanatory. It would restrict labeling terms on plant-based dairy products. So basically any dairy product made out of macadamias, almonds, quinoa, peas, rice, coconut, oats, soy, walnuts, or cashews would have to find a new name. They would no longer be able to claim that they are a dairy product. Even though the act was introduced in 2017, the FDA, that is the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, has recently asked consumers for their thoughts on their understanding of what milk or cheese is, specifically when used to describe plant-based milk and dairy alternatives. The FDA wants to know if consumers understand what they are buying if they buy a plant-based dairy product. Senator Tammy Baldwin from Wisconsin and Representative Peter Welch from Vermont introduced the bill that, if passed, would force plant-based dairy alternatives to change their name. The dairy industry says that the name should be changed because it confuses consumers and it doesn't come from a hoofed animal. Plant-based producers claim that consumers know exactly what they are getting when they pick up one of their products, like silk almond milk. Personally, I think that dairy should only refer to products from an animal, but what do y'all think?
I agree with Shelby. I believe that distinguishing between animal and plant-based milk would allow consumers to have a better understanding of what they are drinking. Also, it would help those who have lactose intolerance be able to easily distinguish between dairy milk and milk replacements.
Fun fact, cattle produce about 25 billion pounds of meat each year. The combined value of the cattle and beef industry is $200 billion.
This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Watch us live on Facebook. You can follow Texan News Service on Twitter, and check out our website at texannews.net for more of the latest stories. This newscast was produced by Jessica Barrow, Shelby Clayton, Siler Frost, Ariana Guape, Nicolette Howe, Emily Jackson, Easton Jay, Mark Newmick, and Tyler Schuster. Have a wonderful day, everyone.